On the last episode, we started work in the main area. We finished our granite, diorite, and andesite factory. And we worked on a sorting system for our mining. And that means it's time to actually move out of this starting area and into the new one. Now in the new area, there is a lot of work to be done. A lot of work. For starters, we need to finish up with our item vaults for main storage. Like, I moved all my items, and this one's already getting stuff, and this one completely filled up with random junk. Of course it did. I did increase the amount of windmills we have over here, and that now gives us 25,000 SU. We're already using a little bit to power these guys. But now that we have this system up and running, we can use this to deposit any of our items. And then if we need anything, we can just ask this guy, which has already some categories set up. But you can take a look at what we have right now. But this is not nearly what we're gonna need. We're gonna need so many stuff. Why did it have to start raining? Why? I'm trying to record over here, boy. Come on. Oh, and don't forget, our base should look like a millstone, not necessarily with these colors, but this is probably the shape I'm gonna go with. Maybe we can actually make it spin like this as well. Like, that would be super funny. But for now, we could either start augmenting or putting some walls on the base, which I gathered a bunch of different items over here to build with, or we can go mining. Yeah, we could go mining because I don't have iron, or I have very low amounts of iron because I'm poor, or I wasted it all on volts, and I need like 4 more of those just for storage. Oh boy, man, I wish there was an easier way to get iron. Wait a second, how can I forget? We have an iron farm, right? Oh. Yeah, this thing is very slow. Its main purpose right now is trying to keep up with the process of giving me some nuggets to make some andesite alloys, and also tough, because I just have a pump here next to this, putting in some water and a press, and boom, we get more tough. It's kind of nice. It's an easy way for us to get tough, and actually I'm actually going to take this with me. But this whole setup is going to go. And in order to not make a mess with this one, we have a packing tape, which allows us to pack the boxes or the barrels and freely take them any other place, like for example inside, and place it over here without actually spilling all the items in the floor. And now we have a bunch of, like, I would say new, but they're not really new. They're old resources that we can now put to better use. So let's dump everything back into our storage so we can, well, free some space in our inventory. So by setting this up temporarily over here, I'm gonna make an investment. And that investment is gonna be like 2 of my iron stacks in order to help us make more vaults over here. And hopefully we have the rest of the stuff that we need for what I want. Maybe we do. So I'm actually going to be using a full-size vault to farm cobble with, and I want to have as much cobble as I possibly can. And that means, well, a lot of drills, which luckily I already have them because of our massive clearing that we did over here. But the chutes, this is all the iron I have, so I was just barely able to do all of these chutes. We have 5 iron to our name. That's not much. Yeah, no, this is not enough iron. We need more. So, well, back to the mines. And luckily, I still have not destroyed this section of the base, because I have nothing over there to process stuff. But I do need my iron. Okay. I kind of need to calm down. This is the main idea, right? But each one of these drills is 1,000. 1,000 SU. I don't think this can hold, right? Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna run this at half speed, and later when we actually have a decent power generation, we can fix this, because yeah, we need more SU for the rest of the setup. It's not great, but it should hold for what I want to do. Oh, let's put the clutch that also lets us turn this thing off, and later we'll have that clutch automated, because whenever this thing is full, we don't need this to be running. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Now I'm actually just gonna place a couple of cobblestone blocks in the middle, because these ones are actually gonna be separating the lava that's probably gonna stay like what in the middle here, and the water is gonna be waterlogged in these drills, which means I kind of need to close this area up a little bit so the water doesn't flow, like for example here, just like that. And then we can use these glass here, and boom, now the water will not run from there, and I have to put it there. And so by simply adding in the lava and the water, I believe if I turn on the clutch now, yes, we should have this thing starting to drill away. And this should start giving us a bunch of cobble, right? Yeah, there you go. All the cobble, which is great. This is gonna give us pretty much all the cobble we're gonna need right now, but we're probably gonna be needing more. And now I actually need to hook this up to some extra machinery. So now I'm actually going to be connecting two different far ports here. One of them is going to be connecting this into our already set up storage. So we can actually count cobblestone from here. So whenever we kind of need tons and tons of cobble and we kind of want to request, this is an only send, and that's pretty good. Because we only really want that one to be sending items. We don't really want him to store any stuff. Like these ones, they can send and receive because they're part of our main storage. But if I have to send cobblestone into here, I'm fine with it, to be honest. Because since that one is actually farther away from here, this will prefer any cobblestone I have from these bolts. So it should never realistically ask for that cobblestone unless I don't have it over here. And just to make sure, yes, we have 5k cobblestone in the system, which is great. So now, using the power we also have, I need to make some factory gauges, and that kind of requires precision mechanisms. So, well, let's actually make some, because I never automated this, and I really should start automating more stuff, you know? So now, on this side, we're actually going to be connecting to here, because this guy is going to be making us gravel. And to do that, we're going to have to make a separate link, different from this one, like not connected to our main system over here. Basically, you could just pick these guys up and craft them over here, and they are now unlinked. Now we're going to put them over here, and we're going to grab another frog port. This guy also does not need to be named. And I think I want to send it that way. That way seems good. And only send packages. This guy will only send. And now we will click with the factory gauge over here, which now it's connected to this side. And now we can just put it over here, and they should be connected. Yes, they are. As you can see, they're both glowing blue. Now on this factory gauge, we basically want to tell it to monitor cobblestone. And as you can see, it says it has 0 cobblestone inside. But now, I believe we have to ask for it to receive items. Okay. It should be connecting to receive. Ah, there you go. And now it's inactive, but I can tell it to have at least 30 stacks. And... yep. There we go. Okay, that guy is actually connected. It's connected to the right side, but this guy isn't connected to the right side. So I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna actually connect him to this side as well. It's just so that the packages don't travel that long. And now we have to call him gravel underscore base. This is just so I know that I have this gravel in the base. Yes, it's perfect. Now we have 30 stacks of cobblestone. Like if I remove one stack, it's just gonna send another one. Right? Okay, there we go. It takes a little bit. I don't know why. No, it's perfect. It works. Oh, I now also installed the threshold switch over here. Basically, I'm telling him whenever you're above 1280, you're actually gonna power on. And it's actually going to power on this clutch right here, so it's just going to stop everything going up, and it should start again. I'm actually going to change this to like what, 100, So whenever you have 100 stacks left, that's when you're actually going to toggle yourself back on. Because then you're probably running low and there's areas that need it. So yeah, I think this is a good number. Now over here, we're going to make a little bit of a loop and we're going to put some crushing wheels that hopefully should now start to give us some gravel. We're gonna crush the cobblestone and then we're gonna send the gravel into this chest. And then as you can see, this guy is using cobblestone and that guy gets the notification, if you can say that. And boom, we're gonna start using the cobblestone from here. And we now have a lot of gravel being automated. Whenever this fills up, everything is actually gonna backlog on down and sit on over there. And we can actually use the same system where we can use a threshold switch here for gravel and toggle this area off as well. Because if it's not needed, then like if you throw on gravel, then we don't need it, right? So it can stop. And then we're gonna have this do the same thing over here, because then the gravel is gonna have to go somewhere else. So I also want to use this gravel to make some sand and some clay, but I might as well just do the iron because that's what we're needing right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a brass tunnel here with a list filter that has a deny on gravel, flip off the date. And I know this works with water, but I'm really going to use a fan washing catalyst. And if we have it like this, then this is going to be 3 times the speed to wash well, a stack of sand, I guess, because that's going to be a stack of sand right there. So now all I really need to do is give this thing some power, and we should have it only accepting or only really doing iron nuggets and flint. But the problem is I don't really care about the flint right now, so we might as well just grab ourselves like some item vaults and then just void or lava what we don't want. I don't know if you can quite see it, but all the fans appear to be blowing the right way. And hopefully now, if I do this, we should have the gravel starting to flow in and hopefully start being washed away. No, I shouldn't take that long. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And we already heard. Okay, we got 5 iron nuggets, and we heard that there was flint being tossed away. So I think this is a success. Yes. Now with this, there's one last thing I want to set up. And let me grab, I think it's this one. Yes, this link, which means I can now hook this guy up to the system. Which means I can now see my iron nuggets all the way over here. Hopefully. So if I type for nuggets, yes, we got 60 and it should keep going up. I mean, we had 0. So yeah, 72. That's perfect. This means that we can actually use these factory gauges for some pretty cool things back here. And actually, we have this thing. Yeah, no, that's some. So I've now done a little bit of a thing. We now have automated ingots. And how? Well, with the factory gauges over here, I linked this one to our main system, which I actually made it so our ingots are in the system as well. So that is connected. It tells us, well, we have X amount of ingots. And then I actually told it, well, if you send X amount of ingots into X amount of area, into, well, in the iron ingot press base, you can, with 36 iron nuggets, you can make 4 iron ingots. Then what that does is it sends it to this guy of course then sends it to this basin, it presses down, and then of course this guy sends it back the same way into the main storage. And have this defaulted to 4 stacks. We can then of course, if we hold right click, we can change it to as much as we want. I'll change it to, I'll keep it at 4 because I think it's a good number. And I already took 4 of it and pressed down into sheets so we can make more vaults, so we can make more storage. And then I actually decided to waterlog under there and put some fans on the bottom that actually speeds it up. And then I actually decided to double it. So we have like 10 fans, but it's actually 5 per zone, but it's making 2 stacks at a time, which I think it's pretty good, right? I did have to nerf, at least in one motor, our guy over here, because we already are, well, overstressed to the wazoo. Look at that. We only have 708 ACO. We have 5 of these guys. Either we make more or we upgrade our power, which I think we should do, because we can just wait around for iron. That fixes a lot of problems. And life is good when you have a place to rest. So I made me a little bit of a shack, I guess you can call it that we can actually take wherever we go. And how can we take it wherever we go? Well, by simply flicking up this lever and then boink, and we have it with ourselves, our little tool cart. And then whenever we want, we can just place it down. And it's actually kind of cool because if we go over here, we go on the inside, it actually has all my toolboxes up there and all the way down here. It also has some tables from chipped to make it a little bit of a decoration. We have a bed to skip off the night. We got some carpet and some flowers as decoration. And of course, the most important thing of all, we can actually close the door and we can AFK. Because I've been AFKing a lot and this actually really helps. And would you look at that, I even increased this to 16 stacks and we already have them all, and we have a bunch of iron nuggets, and I actually made a lot of iron sheets. Yeah, we have 800 iron sheets. I also used all those nuggets to make some more andesite alloys. We're now lacking on some stuff, but we're good. Oh yeah, and look at this horse. This is 12.64 speed and 4.5 jump height. It's super good. Oh, and I swapped the blaze for a subscribe pick, because why not? Oh, and for some reason we didn't have the fresh animation pack working, but now it is, and the villagers look a lot better. And I got a new one. I got an actual unbreaking one, which you can keep like trading to unlock. Please unlock something good, dear sir. And nothing. Great. Now it's time for a building time lapse. So I've been hard at work and look at that beauty. Man, I think this looks really cool as a basement, or it's not even the basement, it's the first floor of our factory over here with a 1 million item storage. Yes, this actually can hold up to 1 million items. Each and every single one of these vaults can hold 1,620 stacks. Well, if you multiply that by the 10 that we have, that does 106, no, 1,6,200, yes, 1,000 stacks. And that multiplies by 64 items of each stack. So our little piggy here is, well, it's gonna be very busy in the future. And we also still have the horse. I guess we can use them for some other areas, actually. And I'm starting to decorating this. It's gonna take a very long while to decorate, because even though I have a bunch of lanterns in the ceiling, yeah, that's still not gonna cover the floor, because they're way too high up to actually cover the floor. I am pretty sure, actually, can we craft the bell? There's actually a very cool mechanic that we can do. Okay, so that we need a block of brass and a brass sheet. So let's ask to get this. Then we just craft it real quick. And then we're actually going to do something to this bell. You see, this is just a decoration, right? But if we place it on Soulfire, it has side effects. Yeah, you can see at night, it doesn't really quite get enough light to the floor. So if we hit this with the Soulfire, it will turn. And it will turn into a haunted well. That I believe, when we offhand it, I guess we can place it for now. Right click it. It should show us areas that are unlit. It may not show because of the shaders, Wait, is this actually well enough lit? Wait. Wait a second. Is it actually okay? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So mobs can spawn here. Oh wait, is this actually spawn proof? I'm baffled. There's not a single spot where mobs can spawn inside of this. Let me turn on shaders again. And that's crazy to me. Like, this area is massive, right? Wait, maybe down here? I mean, down here I still only have like torches and stuff, so yeah, but these torches are enough. But I should actually remove these, because I'm gonna use these like underground tunnels to get from platform to platform, over there and over there, and have these areas selected out for elevators to take us up. Now, there's a little bit of an issue that it kind of crosses this support beam and that chain. I don't really care because I'd have to move these, but that would misalign stuff, and I don't want to deal with that. And yes, I started expanding the windmills a little bit all the way up there because we needed just a little bit of extra power, because what I want to do for main power, it's going to take a while to do that, but I needed some extra power to automate some things over here. And then we have automated the crushing of gravel over here into making us some sand and some clay and, well, some flint. I guess we can use flint as well later. But mostly we wanted this sand and we wanted the clay because we have an automatic smelting setup. It's here as well in our cooking base, where anything we send it here as 3 fans blasting lava onto it, so it cooks kind of fast. And we have it to make ourselves some bricks and some glass. Now the glass is very, very helpful, or I would have not been able to make all of these glasses. And then since we have the iron as well, yeah, this is very expensive glass. But this would be the time where I would actually start improving my power, so I don't rely on those windmills because they're also very laggy, and I actually want some more power then. But to do that, I want to do boilers. And how am I going to do boilers? You know, I want lava to use on the boilers, but there's actually some very cool things we can do. See, with the create mod, if you find that enough or a big enough pool of lava, you actually have infinite lava. Ain't that right, Strider? So pretty much wherever you go in the nether, you will most likely always... Oh, okay. You'll most likely always have an infinite pool of lava if you just target something like this. Because to have an infinite pool of lava, you need 10,000 lava blocks. But maybe we can do something about those 10,000 blocks in the overworld. But of course, that's actually gonna have to wait for next episode, because that's gonna rely on a lot of infrastructure and a lot of digging. A lot of digging. So that's gonna take a long time, but I really don't have it for today's episode. But fear not, it's coming soon. But in the meantime, you can always just watch the other videos on the series. But yes, that's all the time we're gonna have for today, and as always guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see ya in the next one. Bye!